So the S-type is already broken down after a week. Well, that's not really fair to say. I knew that it had a coolant leak, which is the broken down part. I just didn't know that it was this extensive when I bought it. I thought it was just some hose somewhere and then I just filled up a little bit, and when I got some time to put it in my workshop, I replaced the hoses and it would be fine. However, it started losing coolant really rapidly, and I traced the issue to the coolant expansion tank. Don't worry, it hasn't overheated or anything. I checked the coolant every single time I drove to work and back because I have been using this as my daily now for a week, and it's been a great daily, except having to pop the hood every single time I had to go somewhere and check the coolant level and fill it up. So I just replaced the coolant tank, and I didn't film that because, as you can hear, it's raining like crazy here. It just stopped a little bit, or lessened, so I could film this. Also, it's freezing out here, so excuse my attire, and it's late in the afternoon and I'm trying to get this ready so I can use the car tomorrow. So I'll turn the camera around now and I can quickly show you what's involved to change the coolant tank, because it's not the easiest car to change the expansion coolant tank on. It would be a lot easier on one of the older cars or an X300 or an XJ40 I was looking at. So this was a bit more involved. So I'll show you the engine now and I'll show you the old tank so you can see where it was leaking. And the great part is when I took it out, it's really obvious that was the tank that was leaking. So it's none of the hoses and stuff. So I think with all of this stuff back together now, the coolant system should be completely leak free. Once again, sorry about the rain noise. Can't really do much about it. I was unable to put this S-type in my workshop because the XJ12 is taken apart for a video I'm doing right now. So I was unable to take it outside. And I just had to replace this to be able to get to work because I don't want to overheat and ruin the engine. Here's the old tank I took out. And the great part, like I said, it's really obvious where it's leaking. There's a massive crack there and a crack there, and also one developing down there. I heard that it's very common for these early coolant tanks to crack, but apparently they usually crack around here, is what I've read and heard. So I'm not really sure what's been going on here, why they've cracked over here. I'm really glad I found out it was the expansion tank now that I've taken all the job to replace it. So here is the new tank in place, and I haven't put everything back yet. Still have to hook up the hose over there. So there's a hose that goes off the bottom here, and it connects over there. You can see the hose clamp there. So you have to disconnect it there, remove 2 bolts here, remove this plastic holder here, remove that hose, and it just lifts off. But if you're familiar with the S-type, you know that there's something missing here. There's a whole plastic scuttle that goes over here, and the wiper arms are off. So I had to get the wiper arms off first, and they were really stuck on there. I had to use a special puller for wiper arms and a lot of penetrating fluid, and I got them off. Then there's a bunch of plastic clips and a bunch of little screws that holds this scuttle on. And then the support here that also holds the scuttle had to be moved to the side in order to get this out. So it was pretty involved. It wasn't a 5-minute job at all, but about half an hour, 40 minutes or so, and the new one was back. While I was in here, I took this plastic cover off here, and I decided to clean off, and I found there was some dirt in here and a tiny bit of surface rust here. So I just treated the rust and I sprayed down some wax oil all over it so it won't get any worse. And when I have some more time, I'll probably sand this down, treat it again, and put on some protective paint. But this will at least not make it any worse. So now I'm just going to put everything back together, pour in some new coolant, and then I'll start it up and I'll show you if there are any leaks or not. Now everything's back in place. The wipers are back, that plastic scuttle is back, all the clips are back. It's been running for about 20 minutes and no leaks so far anywhere else. It's all up to temperature. The heater's nice and warm. And see the level down here. It's really difficult to actually check the level on this car, but down there it's right on max when cold. So I'll check this after a good run tomorrow and see what the level is after then and top off if needed. But I think that's all fixed. Should be leak free now and can drive to work without worrying about overheating or losing all the coolant. So that's it for this short little update. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of these short little updates. Do you want to see a short updates sometimes between the longer episodes? Let me know in the comment below. Until next time, I'm Adam, and this was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.